Welcome to NASCAR Chat with Hamm the Engine Man. If you don't know me, my name is David Hamm. I'm a 25-year NASCAR engine builder, recently retired about 5 months ago, owner of Hammscapes, landscaping, and equipment repair. 7-year jackman, retired from that also. My last year as a jackman was in 2001. So I also do radio personality, I guess you can say, with WAME, the WAME Chillbillies right here in Statesville, North Carolina, 92.9 and 550 WAME. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, WAME Chillbillies, and also find us on WAMEradio.com. And so we're going to roll into what I did was last Monday I was doing a live chat and I was having all kinds of issues with my computer wanting to be really slow. So I ended up getting cut out about halfway through my chat. So I didn't get to go over my cold beer, warm beer, or the point standings or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to continue that right now. So first I'm going to go over my cold beer, warm beer. This is for the Dover race. They actually ran Talladega today, but then it got rain delayed till tomorrow at 2 p.m. So I'll probably end up doing my NASCAR chat again sometime tomorrow. But if you don't know, I do it every Monday night at 7:30. So what I'm going to do with this video is probably go ahead and put it out tomorrow night at 7:30, and then I'll come on here. I'll do it as a premiere, and then I'll come on and do a live chat on the computer while everybody watches it and while I watch it too. So I'm going to do the cold beer, warm beer. The cold beer goes to Kyle Larson because obviously he won the race. So he ends a 75 race winless streak and is now locked into round of 8 for the playoffs, for the next round of playoffs. So Martin Truex was the runner-up in that race with 2 wins in his first 4 races of the playoffs. So, you know, the Toyotas, well, that was a Chevrolet and a Toyota, but the Toyotas seem like they're really doing well. Hopefully that doesn't, I mean, obviously you see my shirt, so you know who I'm pulling for, but I'm a little bit partial because I work, you know, building engines for Roush Yates Engines. And those are all my friends over there. We build the Fords, and I have a lot of friends on the Ford teams, and we want them to do good. So Matt DiBenedetto is a non-playoff driver, so he gets a cold beer, but he finished in 7th place. So once again, another good finish for Matt DiBenedetto. And so he has 3 top 5s and 7 top 10s. He is currently 21st in the points. This time last year, he was 30th in the points. So, you know, he has definitely improved his points over the year. I can hear the stink bugs flying around in here. You know, I don't know if y'all noticed, but the stink bugs are really bad this year. I think they must go in like an every 5-year cycle, because it's been about 5 years when I first moved into this house and they were all over the place. And then the next 4 years it wasn't so bad, and now they're back full force. So Alex Bowman gets a cold beer because he backed up his Dover May race, finished up 3rd and moved up to 8th in the points. Warm beer this week. So the warm beer goes to Chase Elliott. A week after his win at Charlotte Roval, he lost an engine on lap 9 of the race and is now outside of the transfer spot for the round of 8. But you know what? That wasn't his fault. Maybe he should get a cold beer for that, because he's definitely needed one after that race. William Byron, a speeding penalty cost him a top 10 finish, maybe even a top 5 finish. The penalty possibly cost him 12 to 15 points. That could be important when this round ends. So, yeah, William Byron gets a warm beer for that. Says he is currently 8th in the point standings, which is the final transfer spot. Obviously, 12 down to 8. Joey Logano gets a warm beer before making his first lap under green. Joey broke an axle, but you know what? Then again, that's not his fault. He deserves a cold beer. He finished 34th and 25 laps down. So not a good day for Joey Logano and Team Penske. Along with Joey's 34th place finish, Ryan Blaney had a suspension issue and finished 34th. And Brad Keselowski finished 11th. So, you know, he did decent, but it just was not a good day for Ford, because it typically isn't, though. Dover's not. Talladega is. So hopefully we'll see the Fords come back at Talladega and kick some butt. Congratulations to Corey LaJoy and his wife Kelly on the announcement that the couple is expecting their first child next spring. So NASCAR announced Tuesday, October 1st, that 2019 that it delivered the 2020 rules to the Cup teams. Cup Road crew members will be cut from 12 to 15 plus over the wall pit crew. So yeah, NASCAR's making cuts once again, as they do, it seems like every year here lately. So teams with 3 or more cars currently are allowed up to 4 roster spots in addition to road crew. That changes to 3 next year to match cars with 1 or 2 cars. Yeah. So also teams will only be allowed 150 hours in wind tunnel testing. Currently there are 4 permitted testing spots, and that could change. So yeah, NASCAR's doing things to try to save money. In my opinion, maybe they should try to do some more things to bring more money in. You know, that's a sticky spot. I mean, over the years, they have talked about the fans not being in the stands, and they've been trying to get more fans in the stands. Obviously, if they could do that, then that would, you know, they wouldn't have to put band-aids on trying to save money everywhere else and cutting crew members' jobs. I mean, that's just not a good deal. That doesn't go well with the history of NASCAR, you know. We want to keep it exciting for the fans. So we'll see how that turns out. All right, we'll go into the point standings now. We got the top 12 in the point standings. We have 3 Toyotas, 5 Fords, and 4 Chevrolets. So the 5 Fords are keeping it pretty strong right now, but there's a couple near the bottom that might get bumped down, maybe at least one of those to go into the round of 8. So first we have Martin Truex, and then we have Denny Hamlin second, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Alex Bowman, William Byron, Joey Logano, Clint Bowyer, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney running out the top 12. So that trouble with Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Clint Bowyer on the outside looking in as they head to Talladega Super Speedway, meaning those 4 cars are currently outside of the round of top 8. But like I said, traditionally, Talladega is a good, strong track for these Fords, so I'm thinking that Logano and Blaney and Bowyer won't have so much to worry about after Talladega, hopefully. So we shall find out tomorrow at 2 o'clock when the race runs on a Monday. So the Rookie of the Year contenders still Daniel Hemrick. He's at 425. Ryan Preece at 405. And Matt Tifft at 316. All right, so rolling into some of the NASCAR news. We hit on this a little bit earlier about the some of the testing changes. So here's the deal with the money that's being spent. A top-tier NASCAR Cup team currently spends up to $3,000 per hour to test a wind tunnel facility. Most top-tier NASCAR Cup teams spend up to 700 to 800 hours a week in the wind tunnel. You know, and that is a huge expense for a NASCAR team. So I can see cutting out some of that and making it more even for the teams with the low budgets that can't afford to go into doing the wind tunnel testing. The cost for a team like Hendrick Motorsports could easily reach $2 million in a wind tunnel research a year. $2 million. You know, that's a lot of money to pay your employees for sure. Without a cap on that, you know, the big teams like that can just spend all they want, and that doesn't exactly make it fair for the smaller teams. So in 2020, organizations will be limited to a total of 150 hours of wind tunnel testing per year, and there was previously no limit, as I mentioned. So going on to other news, Richard Childress Racing officially announced that Tyler Reddick to pilot the number 8 Cup Series ride in 2020. Reddick replaces current driver Daniel Hemrick. Ally also renewed with Hendrick Motorsports in the 48 car for 3 more years, regardless of Jimmy Johnson's future. To recap, Johnson has not won since the spring race of Dover in 2017, now 89 races ago, and this year is the first year he has not made it to the playoffs in 19-year Cup Series. Johnson has not yet re-signed with Hendrick Motorsports and has spoken of wanting to go to Indy racing in the future. How about that? He says there are several factors to look at, such as the Generation 7 car in 2021, the 48 team's performance, and that he might want to go longer than 2023. So Johnson says he doesn't know, that he hasn't put much time and effort into it. There are other things to look at to deal with. Contract renewals usually occur during the spring of the year, and which contract is set to expire. Johnson says he is going to take every day that he can to make that decision. So there you have it. That's that with Johnson. If he has not been determined if Daniel Suarez, Clint Bowyer, or Kurt Busch will return to their teams as of yet. Brad Keselowski's car that he drove to victory in the 2018 Southern 500 was auctioned off at Barrett Jackson and sold for $250,000. which was then donated to the Michigan United Way. Because if you know, Brad Keselowski is from Michigan, Rochester to be specific, and his dad, Bob Keselowski, used to come down and race at Charlotte, and I remember that him from the Truck Series racing back in the day. A Richard Petty Motorsports Bubba Wallace fan group on Facebook called 43 made a donation to Victory Junction and put Bubba and the RPM employees' names on Bubba's Talladega car. $2,021 was donated. Very cool. Good job on them. At the end of the Dover race, it marked Kevin Harvick's 676th career start, tying him with Dale Sr. It was also Denny Hamlin's 500th start. All right, so we're going to roll into some of the Talladega facts. Since the race is going to be tomorrow, which is Monday, the 14th, at 2 o'clock. All right, Talladega 1000bulbs.com track facts. All right, through 1996, it was held late July and early August. In 1997, it moved to October due to extreme temperatures and sometimes unpredictable summertime thunderstorms. Yeah, I can attest to that. Back in the days of flying into Talladega, sometimes it was sketchy. The first race was in 1969, won by Richard Brickhouse. The race has held 16 different sponsors. Most driver wins was Dale Sr. with 7. Most team wins was Richard Childress with 8. Most manufacturer wins, Chevrolet, 21. Eric Almirola won in 2018. I thought that Dale Sr. won there. I thought he won like 9 times or something. Now, I don't know if this fact actually may be just for this particular race, because we always run there twice a year, and I thought Dale Sr. had like 9 or 10 wins there. Probably so. And I'm gonna tell you something. Every time Dale Sr. got up front, the crowd went crazy every time. You know, and that's something the sport misses, and I know that. You know, you could do nothing to bring Dale Sr. back, but the love for that kind of a driver, you know, and the respect for that man, that is something that's definitely hurt the sport when he left us. So the race is famous for its high number of dark horses and first-time winners: Jamie McMurray, Jimmy Spencer, Dave Marcus, and James Hilton. I also can remember David Reagan won there, you know, a few years back, and he's not used to winning, but he actually won that race with our Ford engines. 2000 was Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s 76th and last recorded win at Talladega. And I saw that a little bit of the beginning of the race today whenever Richard Childress drove the Black 3 around Talladega. Very cool. And I also saw the Bobby Isaac car that Bobby Isaac had actually was driving at Talladega, and he said he heard voices, and he got out of the car, and he never returned to a NASCAR race car. So, you know, it supposedly is a Indian burial ground. You know, a lot of weird things have happened over the years. I remember getting to the track and knowing that the ARCA president, had just passed away or got run over outside the racetrack. It looks like it used to be a runway, and he got hit by a car right outside the racetrack. So very strange things have happened throughout the years. But thanks everybody so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, hit that like button, all that good stuff. If you want to stay up to date on the NASCAR news and happenings, and every week, every Monday night at 7:30, I have a video premiering or live to talk about NASCAR and talk about the race from the day before. So check me out on Instagram at DHammIam. That's DHamm, just like the channel name right here on YouTube with the 2 M's. And we will see you next time. Have a great rest of the week.